YouTube, what's good? Sit down, buckle in. This is Nino's World, and today we're going to go over conspiracy theories from all of our favorite cartoons. Let's do it.
Squidward's Theory. If you're familiar with creepypastas, you're probably also familiar with the Squidward meme of him taking his own life.
Oh wow, I remember this one.
The meme started in the dark corners of the internet like 4chan and Reddit, where people would modify still images of the show SpongeBob SquarePants and
SpongeBob SquarePants was always one of those shows where it would be so kiddie, and then he would just take a left turn. And even as a kid, I'd be sitting like, yo, what are they trying to say right now?
little horror and creepiness to it, hence the name Creepypasta. That's where the meme of Squidward taking his own life began. In the meme, you could see the fictional character with a black background and shiny red eyes. It was quite horrifying, actually, but it stayed amongst the horror.
Squidward was depressed. It seemed like, right?
Now, the show's animators decided to incorporate the meme in one of their episodes, which is very strange since the main demographic of the spectators are still children.
Exactly.
And the subject is a little dark, to say the least. The episode in question shows SpongeBob and Squidward as they explore a town that mysteriously doesn't adhere to the rules of logic. Then,
I remember this episode too.
Doors appears, and Squidward proceeds to open one of them to see what's on the other side, only to find alternate versions of himself.
Freaky.
At this point, the episode is already quite nightmarish, but it gets worse. One of the doors clearly shows him after taking his own life, and it's terrifying.
See, that's the crazy thing about these kids' shows and these subliminal messages. And, you know, this is it's actually pretty cool looking at it as an adult. You know, they saw what people were seeing on these Reddits, and they just threw a little something in the clip. But, hey, you know, that's a alternate reality of Squidward killing himself. And they got this here on a cartoon TV show.
Snow White is about cocaine and addiction.
Hey, yo, I never would have guessed that. I want to see how they about to flip this one.
The theory that the Disney movie Snow White is about cocaine addiction has been around for a long time, but it's easy to understand why. There are so many different coincidences that it might just be true.
I'm trying to think, how could it be about cocaine? I want to think about it and guess before I watch it, but I just can't think about it.
True. First of all, the name of the main character, Snow White. Now, I don't know if you know what cocaine looks like, but it is literally
Snow White
powder that looks exactly like snow. Then there are the names of the 7 dwarves, which are named after their personalities. And believe it or not, they match exactly the different stages of cocaine addiction
symptoms when you're off cocaine.
Happy and grumpy, and make a reference to the mood swings that are caused by using cocaine.
Sleepy, dopey.
Addicts will have very aggressive mood swings several times a day. And then we have dopey, sleepy, and sneezy, which are nods to actual stages of being on the drug.
Hey, yo, look what they were doing to us as kids. Are you serious? These adults playing games with these kids, with these kid movies.
Dopey literally means high. Rugrats are all in Angelica's imagination.
Okay, what's this about?
Have you heard of the Rugrats Never Happened theory? It's a conspiracy that started on Tumblr, and it basically speculates that the babies in the TV show were all made up by Angelica to cope with her absentee parents.
I can believe that, because even though the Rugrats was about, you know, the little babies, it did center around Angelica a lot, and maybe her parents were busy. They were getting to the bag, but they were never around.
Bye, kids. Interact socially with Daddy.
Tumblr user Radio Retaliation explains it this way. Chucky died with his mother, which explains why his father is such a neurotic nerd.
And yo, drop that in the comments and let me know, how did Chucky's mom pass away? All I remember was, as a kid, we went to see Rugrats in Paris, and after that movie, I cried 100% as a kid. I remember that.
Wreck. Tommy was a stillborn baby. That would explain why Stu, his father, is always in the basement making new toys for the son he never had the chance to meet and play with. And finally, the DeVilles had an abortion, and because Angelica had no way of knowing the gender of the baby, she opted for both. Twins. A little boy and a little girl. This one's giving me
this one. I like this one.
This theory completely changes the tone of a seemingly innocent and fun children's cartoon. Basically, Angelica was building an entire group of friends in her head. Friends that could have been around her, but death took them away. And in ad-lib...
Could have been around her, but death took them away. Wow, I like this one.
Thought she's also able to take out her aggressions on them, and they can't abandon her. It's a little too dark for a toddler to watch, don't you think? Ash from Pokemon is in a coma.
All right, let me pause it there. I watched a lot of Pokemon when I was a kid and a lot of Dragon Ball Z, but not enough to know why Ash would be in a coma. I can't make the correlations. So y'all get down in the comments, all my Pokemon watchers, get in the comments and explain this one to me, because I'm not going to know nothing about it.
This theory revolves around the fact that in the first episode of Pokemon, Ash fell into a coma after being hit with Pikachu's supercharged thunder attack. It wasn't Pikachu's intention to hit Ash, of course.
Okay.
The idea was to hit a flock of Spearow, but somehow it backfired. So some people believe that everything that happens after this event
is
is
in his
simply
head.
Ash dreaming from a hospital
He's in a
bed
coma.
where he will be in a state of coma for years. One of the facts that supports this theory is that Ash never grows older and never changes his appearance.
How can he? He's stuck in that one moment. He is in a coma. Okay, I see it.
Oh, me? I thought it was awesome.
During the first season, he says at one point that he's 10 years old, and he remains that age all throughout the rest of the seasons. If a kid falls into a coma, it's logical that it will remain his age in his head until he wakes up again.
Exactly.
It would also explain Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny being exactly identical everywhere he goes. The explanation of them all being identical sisters is highly improbable. What if they're figments of his imagination?
They probably are.
Another strange thing that supports this theory is the fact that Ash never progresses past a certain point, which is very suspicious. Peter Pan is the angel of death.
Yo, hold on. How are they gonna turn the kid that never gets old, that comes to your kid's window to play with them? Hold on. Unless these kids are sick and dying, and he's coming to guide them because he's the angel of death. Wow, that's crazy.
Peter Pan is an all-time Disney classic. Aside from being a little bit racist, it's also hiding a secret meaning. There's a theory that stipulates that Peter Pan is actually an angel that is guiding children to heaven, or Neverland.
Wow.
I'm feeling a little trip to Neverland.
And that's why the kids never grow up, because they are all dead.
Dead
When you dig
kids.
into the origins of the Peter Pan story, it all makes too much sense. Maybe even a little too much for comfort. It turns out Disney isn't the original creator of the story, but Scottish writer Sir James Matthew Barrie. And the original title of the book was Peter and Wendy. And Barrie lost his little brother David in a terrible ice skating accident only 2 days before his 14th birthday. The two brothers were very close, and this loss deeply affected both Barrie and his mother, who took solace in the idea that their son would never grow old this way.
Wow, that's dark. But Peter Pan has always had a dark essence about it. I mean, the kid that never gets old, never ever land.
Knowing this, it becomes evident that David could have been a strong source of inspiration for Peter Pan. But there's more. When we look into the name Peter Pan, we quickly realize that Pan was an ancient Greek god. Pan was a mischievous deity of the woodlands and is often associated with innocence and immortality. Because Barry's no longer around, we can't really ask him if this theory is true. But there's a very big chance that Peter Pan is, in fact, an angel of death.
Wow. Peter Pan is the angel of death coming to take kids to the next level of life.
Ed, and Eddie are living in purgatory.
I've definitely heard this one before, but I've never seen someone explain it. I just heard people talk about it. So let's see what he got to say.
The theory of Ed, and Eddie in purgatory started in the year 2012, and it speculates that, basically, they're all dead. Take a look at the color of their tongues, for example. They're all blue or green. Only dead people have tongues like that. And also,
blue and green tongues. As a kid, I'm thinking they just ate a lot of candy.
their skin color, which is of a strange yellowish tone, exactly like dead people. There's also the fact that there are no adults in the show. They're constantly mentioned, but they never appear, and that is very suspicious.
Comedy. Think.
But how are they in purgatory?
And the fact that they are all in purgatory would explain the irregularities within the time frame of the cartoon. Sometimes you can see typewriters, sometimes VHS machines, and in other episodes they're using computers. And that doesn't make any sense. Usually, in a normal setting, you wouldn't use electronics from that big of a range in history. So the theory says that this happens because each character's from a different time of American history.
Ed, Edd n Eddy was my show growing up, my all-time favorite show. I wonder if as an adult I can go back and try to do a little bit of binge watching. Will I still like it? Would it make any type of sense to me? But as far as them being in purgatory, I mean, I don't know. I just think they were badass when we were kids. I wanted to live in Ed, Edd n Eddy world.
The 20s to the year 2000, and that's why there are so many historical discrepancies. We can't know for sure if the creator of the show explicitly did this on purpose, but it really fits.
Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed these cartoon conspiracies. I mean, I might do a part 1, part 2, but you're going to have to like, share, and subscribe to come back and check to see if I do it again. It's your boy Nino. This is Nino's World. Peace, love, blessings. Until next time.